hear it? Not the wind, not the waves, but a subtle murmur beneath the surface, a whisper older than the countenance, older than the sky above. A world unseen by human eyes stretches endlessly below, a kingdom of life invisible yet vast. Here, the first microbial empires rise, sprawling across lagoons and shallow seas, asserting dominance over sunlight, sediment, and space itself. Every ripple, every chemical gradient, every pulse of oxygen carries the heartbeat of these ancient civilizations. Step closer, peer into the shallow waters. The cyanobacterial mats undulate like emerald deserts, living cities without walls or rulers. Oscillatoria, filaments rise and glide, layer upon layer, forming the foundations of stromatolites, the first skyscrapers of life. Each filament is a citizen, each layer a chapter in a history written not in words but in generations of cells. Beneath them, Crucosteidopsis clings stubbornly to grains of sediment, anchoring the mats and resisting the toxic pulses of oxygen that sweep unpredictably across the lagoon. Every particle, every cell, every microzone is a battlefield in a war fought without awareness, but with relentless consequence. Episode 8, Microbial Empires. Above the mats, predators stir. Amoeboid hunters extend pseudopodia, probing cautiously, calculating with instinct honed over eons. One wrong move, one misjudged chemical cue, and they vanish into the currents or become prey themselves. Flagellates twist and spin with astonishing agility, exploiting light gradients while evading predators, hunting bacteria with precision. Mixotrophs drift, both harvesting sunlight and capturing prey. Masters of dual survival strategies, their success dependent on the constant balance of risk and reward. Beneath the surface, decomposition fuels opportunity. Slime mold-like, amoebae trail along detritus, recycling nutrients, creating fertile microzones that sustain both predators and prey. Each decomposition event is a subtle reshaping of the microcosm, influencing chemical signals, oxygen distribution, and nutrient flows, forging ecological niches that ripple outward into the lagoon. The currents themselves act as architects, carrying oxygen pulses, nutrients, and chemical messages that dictate where predators can strike and prey can hide. Eugleniid ancestors navigate these invisible streams with uncanny precision, sensing changes in oxygen and prey density, shifting between predation and phototrophy. Haptophytes shimmer in sunlit pockets, adjusting position to optimize feeding while avoiding lethal oxygen exposure. Even the tiniest flagellates influence the surrounding microhabitats, subtly shifting currents and chemical gradients in ways that cascade through the ecosystem. Predator-prey dynamics reach unprecedented complexity. Amoeboid hunters stalk ciliates, using chemical gradients and subtle currents to anticipate movement. Ciliates twist, spin, and manipulate surrounding water to flush prey into traps, while protecting themselves from capture. Mixotrophs toggle between energy harvesting and hunting, depending on oxygen and light availability. Each encounter, each success, each failure refines life's strategies, honing precision in a world where survival is measured in microns and milliseconds. Territoriality begins to emerge. Cyanobacterial mats dominate shallow zones, shading anaerobic patches and restricting competitors. Dinoflagellate ancestors twist along boundaries, exploiting vertical gradients of light and oxygen while avoiding the dense mats. Prey species react, seeking refuge in microhabitats where oxygen levels or light intensity favor survival. The lagoon becomes a patchwork of territories, invisible borders marked by chemical and physical constraints rather than walls or signs. Symbiosis flourishes under pressure. Amoeboid predators harbor photosynthetic endosymbionts to buffer oxygen surges. Flagellates carry nitrogen-fixing bacteria, creating microzones of localized fertility. Even anaerobic pockets host fragile cooperative communities, where oxygen-tolerant and anaerobic species balance survival in delicate equilibrium. These alliances, though ephemeral, establish patterns of interdependence that will echo across multicellular evolution. Collective behaviors hint at the future of life. Slime mold like amoebae aggregate to hunt larger prey or survive oxygen surges. Ciliate colonies synchronize movements to generate microcurrents that enhance feeding efficiency. Cyanobacterial mats adjust growth in response to predator pressure, creating dense clusters in some areas and leaving corridors in others. Coordination, cooperation, and adaptability emerge naturally from the pressures of survival. Innovation accelerates. Amoeboid predators refine attack timing. Flagellates exploit turbulent eddies to trap prey. Mixotrophs optimize dual survival strategies, and cyanobacterial mats fortify structures against invasion. Currents, sunlight, nutrients, and chemical signals converge in a dynamic dance, selecting for traits that enhance survival in this oxygen-rich, competitive environment. The lagoon pulses with life and tension. Every movement, every interaction, every chemical signal carries consequence. Amoeboid predators glide with precision. Ciliates manipulate currents. Mixotrophs shift feeding modes. Cyanobacteria fortify mats. Decomposers recycle nutrients, and symbiotic units cooperate in delicate balance. Life exists on the razor's edge, tested by oxygen, predation, competition, and cooperation simultaneously. And above it all, oxygen rises in the atmosphere, setting the stage for oceans teeming with life and the eventual colonization of land. Microbial empires dominate shallow waters, crafting ecosystems capable of sustaining multicellular organisms. Each adaptation, each survival strategy, and each symbiotic relationship builds the scaffold for the future. The rise of complex life, forests, and creatures that will one day walk the continents. Step closer and see the interplay of species in all its subtle complexity. Amoeboid predators stalk with strategy. Flagellates twist and dart through microcurrents. Mixotrophs shift fluidly between feeding strategies. Cyanobacterial mats expand and restructure, and decomposers sustain the hidden economy of life. The empire is alive, dynamic, and constantly evolving. Yet even as these empires rise, the first tremors of challenge stir. New forms of predators, innovations in behavior, and chemical warfare emerge in microzones unseen by the naked eye. Life experiments with survival strategies, with alliances and competition, with adaptation and innovation. These microbial empires are vast, ancient, and resilient, but nothing in evolution is permanent. The stage is being set for new forms, for multicellular life, for ecosystems of unimaginable complexity. The lagoon hums with invisible tension, a living tapestry of strategy, cooperation, and survival. Every predator, every prey, every symbiont plays a role. Currents ripple with potential. Oxygen, pulses shape life. The mats expand, retract, and adapt. Life experiments relentlessly, silently, invisibly. These are the microbial empire's kingdoms without rulers, cities without walls, civilizations older than the continents themselves. And they are preparing the world for what comes next. Multicellular life, thriving ecosystems, and the endless unfolding of evolution across the ages. Next, Episode 9, Battle for Space. This is HistoPrimordia, where history comes alive. Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and join us for the next episode story.